according to the UK's customs website, there are certain food items that are considered illegal to bring into the UK from outside of this very country. Meanwhile, my name is Chinyere Ojike. You are most welcome to my channel. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, share this video, and keep coming back for more. Hence, you put on the notification bell icon so that you get notified each time I put up a new video. Meanwhile, I am here to share with you today some of these food items that are considered illegal to bring into the UK in case you are preparing, packing your bag to come into the UK so that you wouldn't get disappointed getting to the airport and they will ask you to take out all those things. And by the time you remove all these food items, the custom officers or airport staff within your country, they will take out those things and go enjoy with their families. This is what you should you may not like, so it's better you avoid packing such food items on time. And by the time I share with you the ones that are listed in the UK's custom website, I'm gonna be also sharing with you some of the additional food items that will bring into the UK that are not necessary. You shouldn't even bother yourself bringing them here. Looking at the number one item listed in the UK customs website, meats or meat products, they are not allowed. Something like kilishi, your suya, dried pomo, all the meat products, they are not allowed into this country. It is prohibited. Though I've seen people who brought in kilishi, who brought in pomo, I don't know how they did that. Yes, anything can pass through at some of the African airports. Yes, so secondly, live fish. You are not allowed to bring in live fish, live crabs, live crayfish. They don't want anything dancing and scaring people. I don't know. Just like this one at the airport one of the days. Yes. So, but you are allowed to bring in dried fish, up to 20 kg of dried fish. By the time you bring in 20 kg of dried fish, you might consider packing your clothes on your hands because some of the airlines allow 23 kg times 3. I don't know what you'll be doing with 20 kg of dried fish. So number 3, milk or dairy products. You are not allowed to bring in milk, fresh milk, liquid milk, other than infant powdered milk. Yes, baby's food. As it is stated in the UK's custom website, is just infant powdered milk, not even the liquid one that is allowed. Next point, you are prohibited from bringing in live snails. That's Ajuna, snails. You can dry them, smoke them, fry them, just like your crayfish, and bring them in, but not the live ones like it is stated. All right, let's move over to some of the things we bring that are not necessary. Some of them are here, some are not here, some you might end up not using them. You might check out my videos about some of the things that you are allowed to pack in your hand luggage and things you should pack in your main luggage. I may reference the video. You might check out for the video in my description at the end of this video, and things to pack and how much some of these Nigerian food items cost in the UK. I made about 3 videos about this. All right, so some other things that are not necessary for you to bring in. Something like dried oba. A lot of people bring in dried oba and they might end up not using them because sometimes it doesn't really taste good. For me, the one I took to Saudi Arabia, I made use of them. They tasted nice, but some said it does not taste good. Same applies to you bringing in dried beans. Some people like their beans fresh, and you can easily buy beans from shop here. Washing beans does not take time to wash. So bringing in dried beans is like a waste of time. Something like dates, debinos. They have debinos here in African shop. Tomato paste. Tomatoes are quite fresh tomatoes, and whichever tomato, they are quite cheap here. They have tomatoes. If you like tomato paste, you go to places like Lidl, Aldi. You can buy them for 25p, 30p. Tomatoes are cheap if you like the tin ones, fresh ones. So needless of you, use that space to pack up some other things instead of filling up your bag with tomatoes. Man, it's a waste of time. Now, things like cocoyam Why bring cocoyam where there are cocoyam in the African shop, unless you want to bring dry? But cocoyam, you better buy fresh one from the African shop and use it to make whatever you want to make. Something like pando yam, you don't need to carry pando yam amala. They have pando yam amala. They have gari in the shops here. You might bring like smaller quantity of gari. You know, even if you bring one bag of gari, to be honest, at the long run you still have to buy. You know, so no point bringing all these things. Hence, you are coming in here to work or to study, and while you are studying you still get a job. At the long run, you start buying from the African shop. It's better than stressing yourself bringing in a whole lot. Iru, that's ogiri. We have ogiri here. I mean Iru in particular, but the other part kind of ogiri is quite expensive. The Igbo ogiri, yes, if they give you £1 ogiri, you'll be looking for it in your pot, you know. And dawa dawa, I have not seen dawa dawa here. The one somebody sent to me from London, I didn't use it because it looked quite dusty. It looked like it has stayed in the UK for 100 years. So I binned it. Sorry about that. You know, so you might consider bringing these things, but don't bring excess of them. And something like dried bitter leaf, dried ugu, dried chong. It depends on where you landed in the UK. You know, but a lot of places now have African shops and they bring in these fresh vegetables from Nigeria. Some they have the days they bring, they will let you know, the African shop. I can't eat fresh dried ugu. To be honest, no need to bring in dried ugu, because sometimes when you put it in the water it becomes powder, and the color in your soup will make your soup look dark. I don't eat dried ugu. And you might fancy bringing in dried bitter leaf, yes, because sometimes they wash the bitter leaf they bring here. I mean, if you like the long bitter leaf for proper Nigerian bitter leaf soup, especially Anambra bitter leaf soup, you might consider buying fresh one from the African shop and washing it at home yourself. Or bring in the dry bitter leaf from Nigeria. That would help a lot. Something like potatoes and yam, rice, they are all here. Though Nigerian potato, the Nigerian sweet potatoes are quite expensive here, but it's not something you should carry and start traveling with yam. It's just like somebody coming from Nigeria, you're asking the person to bring you yam, bring me plantain. I mean, do you want to punish that person? Don't do it. So don't bother bringing those things here, because you can easily buy them from the African shop. Golden Mall for your children. For those kids, if you have children that like Golden Mall, those things are quite expensive here. Yes, but I can assure you there are different brands of cereals in the shop. Choco Bobs, Choco this. At the long run, your children might switch over to those ones. Okay, so you can bring a couple of Golden Mall for your children and gradually introduce these ones that are here that are quite affordable. Something like our Nigerian Overtea, Milo, they are very expensive here, I must tell you. But don't bother bringing much, because there are different types of hot chocolates, different brands of hot chocolate you can easily buy and replace them with those of our Nigerian. In fact, at the long run, you wouldn't even want to buy Nigerian Overtea, Nigerian Milo in the shop. It might be rare for you to do it, because even here, a lot of them don't drink them thick tea. They drink light tea, Lipton. That's what they drink mostly here. So they have other hot chocolates for you to replace our Nigerian Milo and tea. Well, don't bother yourself bringing pepe unless you are the type that likes eating pepe a lot. Meanwhile, there are fresh pepes, that tarodo and borokonu. That's what Hausa people call pepe. Habanero, the habanero. They almost call this one somebody's name. You know, all these pepes are here, just that they are a bit expensive. So if you like pepe, you might consider bringing in Cameroon pepe. Okay, ginger. The ginger in this country is not gingering at all. Even if you like, grind the ginger that fill up this my water bottle. To be honest, put it in your food, you wouldn't even perceive it. So you might consider bringing in dried ginger from Nigeria. This is the one I buy from the African shop because it gives me that smell, that taste of ginger rather than the fresh ones here. Okay, now talking of adapter, sorry, this is outside of the food item. Yes, if you have adapter that is two head or two mouths, yeah, that's the wall socket. Don't bother bringing it here. In fact, when coming to Obodo Igbo, develop the habit of giving out some of the things you have. Yes, because what they use here, the wall socket are usually three, just like the one I would show here. It's usually three heads. So don't bother bringing in your adapter that is two head. You will end up not using it here. In the house, offices, on the buses, three head. Yes, if you are planning to bring in spices, anyway, for spices, yes, I don't think you should consider bringing in spices. But if you want to bring in spices, you have to check the expiry dates, make sure that the dates are not running out. I've seen someone who brought in spices, Benny, Onga, Konga, a whole lot of them, Mr. This and Mr. Dash. At the long run, the person did not use it. The thing even expired before she arrived in the UK because she did not check the expiration date. So you have to check. But there are different spices here in every shop. In fact, there are natural ones. Yes, me, I prefer using natural spices, than using all these bennies and all them stuff. Somebody gifted me some from Nigeria. They are still here. I put one in my rice the other day, jollof rice. It colored everything, so it's particularly colored. I don't like it. And fried rice, I prefer to use what is it called, turmeric. That's what I use in my fried rice. That's okay. Than using that color they put in a sachet, and it's also sweet. That means there is maggi or sweetener in it. So we have fresh spices in the UK. Don't bother yourself, but if you must bring, endeavor to check the expiration date. And if you are bringing clothes, please do not bother going shopping for clothes to come to UK. It's a waste of time and waste of space for you to put in some of the things you're supposed to bring. Clothes, you don't even plan to buy. In fact, you might be going out now and you feel that, oh my God, I don't like what I'm wearing. Walk into the shop and buy clothes. From church, you can go into the shop and buy clothes. There are charity shops, whatever. Window shopping is allowed. It depends on the time you are entering the UK. You might consider buying jackets for you and your children. If you are coming in around October or ending of September, as the case may be, just bring in some jacket. Don't buy extra jacket. Just one is okay. When you come here, clothes are the most affordable things in this country. Clothes and shoes. And your koi shoes. If you bring your koi shoes here, they will end up koi in your bag. I'm telling you the truth, because a lot of people, even now that it's summer, I've seen new Nigerians that are here. How you know them? In summer, you still see them wearing boots. That's how you can identify a Nigerian that is new to UK. Because we have seasons in the UK. Summer season is when you wear casuals like slippers, sandals, and all them stuff. But very soon, and summer season lasts for a period of 4 months or thereabout. Very soon, everyone goes back to wearing boots. Yeah, so don't bother bringing your koi shoe. You will end up not wearing them, unless when you start driving. And your native ways. My traditional marriage native wear that I brought to Obodo Oyibo since 5 years ago, I brought it to England. I brought it to Obodo Oyibo because I traveled to Saudi Arabia before coming here. I can confess, they are still in my bag. And I've been in the UK for 2 years. I've not brought them out. In Saudi Arabia, I had to spray them. When you leave clothes in the bag for long, it's not good. But since 2 years I've been in the UK, I've not brought out those of my traditional wedding or whatever. So you might consider dashing out some of all these things. What I do during summertime like this is when I rock my native wear, some of them that are casual, like, yes, because it's not everything you wear during summer. Some of our native can be heavy, So I think this is clear. Don't bother yourself too much carrying all the clothes. And even handbags. Learn to dash out. Yes, before I left for Saudi Arabia, I gifted people so many things. I dashed out my shoes, my clothes, because I have been to Obodo Oyibo before. I know that it is easy to buy all those things in abroad than when in Nigeria. So what I did was to give out my shoes, my clothes, a whole lot, my handbags. Yes, I have them replaced now. Even now, sometimes I give out to the charity. So use that space to bring in something like dried fish, stockfish. They are quite expensive here. Okay, and remember that at the airport they don't allow red oil unless you can put them in the freezer to freeze them. Is that the right English? Yes, you can put them in the freezer to freeze them, but maybe you bring something of this. This is 250 mil, something that is not much, and you might consider tipping the immigration staff. Yeah, so that they can pass it. Some people succeed bringing in red oil into this country. And some, I remember my husband's own was taken out one of the days he was flying. So it is not allowed. And check that video. Go to my description and see. There are things you don't put in your luggage. And there are things you don't put in your hand luggage. I have a detailed video on things not to pack in your hand luggage, because if you are screening, passing the immigration, whatever, they will send you back. Yes, it happened to me my first time flying. I had to go back, buy Ghana bag in the airport. My cream, for instance, they don't allow cream in your hand luggage. So check for that video. I don't want this video. This video is already too long. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel and keep coming back for more. Bye for now.